Rather lads, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to brand new video. Arsenal out of the UEFA Champions League, a 1-0 defeat to Bayern Munich, and I thought that was absolutely well deserved from Bayern. They handled the game the way you would expect a top level team, a top level manager to handle the game. And I think with Mikel Arteta, this one, he has been absolutely been beaten by Thomas Tuchel. This is one of those performances where your manager has been schooled. So Mikel Arteta, as my manager in this game against Thomas Tuchel, who we know has won this competition with Chelsea before 3 seasons ago, he has schooled Mikel Arteta to an extent that by the time we were 50 minutes in, I knew Arsenal were going out. By the time we were 50 minutes into this game, I knew Arsenal were not going to score, and I knew the game was over. Let's talk about it because, again, I'm not going to shout. I'm not going to be ranting. I've had my own problems with Mikel Arteta on a big stage, and those problems really do continue. Now, let's start off with the performance itself because I think this is what is really disappointing from a club like Arsenal. And why it's disappointing for me is yesterday we saw a Borussia Dortmund side go away from home. They were at the Signal Iduna Park, and they beat a quality Atletico Madrid side, a side that was favourites for them, to go through. Dortmund beat Atletico Madrid 4-2. But one of the reasons that's why Dortmund won that game was the performance they put in. To score 4 goals past Atletico Madrid, a Diego Simeone side, that is miraculous. But also, for you to score 4 goals and make sure that you keep that 2-goal advantage that allows you to progress through to the semi-finals, it's impeccable. It's purely impeccable. And that is what Arsenal failed to do today. That is what Mikel Arteta has failed to do. Now, for me, what I expected this Arsenal team to do was come and dominate this game, but also come to be effective. I don't think we were effective. I don't think we went for it. I don't think this Arsenal team was sharp enough, right? Yes, Bayern did sit in a little bit, and they allowed us to be on the ball lots of the time, especially before they got the goal. After they got the goal, they were very comfortable. They got onto the ball, and Arsenal were, literally out. And it's painful for the fans that really traveled. I tell you, I don't want to lie. The last 20 minutes of that game, I didn't watch them. I didn't watch Arsenal for the last 20 minutes of the game. Honestly, there was nothing to watch if you're an Arsenal fan. It was a Bayern Munich show. The last 25 minutes of that game, it was a Bayern Munich show. So when Arsenal conceded, we were out, okay? So when Arsenal conceded, I watched around 5 minutes, I think 10 minutes of the game, and then I went to watch Real Madrid and Man City, because that is the game. That was the game that, deserves watching. That's the game that, you have to watch if you're a real, football fan. I don't think Arsenal really provided us with any kind of action for us to watch in that game. Now, the performance was very poor, very, very poor. And I don't know whether it is the occasion that got to Mikel Arteta and the players, or we just thought that we can play that poorly and win at the Allianz Arena. These are stadiums that define the UEFA Champions League. So when you hear the Allianz Arena, when you hear the Santiago Bernabeu, when you hear the Old Trafford, when you hear the Anfield, when you hear the Camp Nou, those are the stadiums that define the Champions League. It is why the Champions League is what we call it, the San Siro. So when you go into those stadiums in a UEFA Champions League night, like, Signal Iduna Park, when you go into those stadiums, you've got to put in a reason for you to qualify to the next round. And I think Arsenal didn't have any reason. I'm not really sure if we really knew what we wanted, or we really knew what we had come to do. Because for me, I didn't see it, right? I didn't see it. I've looked at Real Madrid against Manchester City. You would have thought that Man City would have this game, wrapped up earlier on, easy and early, but they haven't, because of the Madrid way of pressing and showing that they deserve and going ahead. By the way, in that game, we knew that Bayern were always going to score, right? But the nature of the goal and the nature of the kind of goal we were always going to concede was always going to matter for me, in my opinion. If you concede a goal that you conceded at the Emirates Stadium a week ago, then there is no improvement. And I think the goal we have conceded today again comes from the fact that we failed to track a runner. It's Ben White, Rafael Guerrero. The ball goes out. Rafael Guerrero is alone. He's got time on the ball. Ben White is ball watching. He gets enough time to pick out a good cross. And I think Joshua Kimmich, you've got to give him the credit because he gets into that position nice and early, and it's a beautiful goal. Honestly, I don't like Bayern. I really, really don't, because I'm a big Borussia Dortmund fan. I don't like Bayern. But when they scored that goal, I was like, you deserve to go through. Bayern deserved to go through today because that performance that Arsenal put in was very poor, was below par. Very, very poor, below par. It's a performance that we have seen before, obviously, against Aston Villa in the second half. And guess what? Again, Arsenal capitulated in the second half. It's the second half. So, wow. It's a new trend. We play the first half. We don't score. We come in the second half and we concede. And it's a new trend. So for me, it's below par. And I don't want to listen to people who say the occasion got to them. I don't want to listen to people who say emotionally or what. That performance was not tactically adept. It wasn't tactically brilliant. I didn't see Gabriel Martinelli. I didn't see Saka in this game. I didn't see Odegaard. I didn't see Kai Havertz in this game. So the attack was completely dead. If the attack is completely dead, I expect a change at halftime. Or Mikel Arteta will wait and wait and wait and wait because he has a time when he makes substitutions, even though he says that everything is actually going the wrong way. Like I said, I'm not going to shout on this video. There's no reason for us to shout. There's no reason for us to feel sad. It is a performance that we didn't expect to see from Arsenal, but we have seen over the weekend, right? It is a performance that, for me, drains me. It's even difficult for us to say that you need a number 9 in a game like this, in a game where you performed like this. Like, a number 9, even if you had a Harry Kane in this game, there was nothing Harry Kane would have done. Even if you had Harry Kane. We didn't create, we didn't show any fight. Bayern let us have possession, and we were happy to have that kind of possession, and that's the end of it. So that marks the end of Arsenal's season for me, and I don't think we go beyond this. Yeah, I don't think we go beyond this. I don't think Arsenal. I don't think we go beyond this. I don't think we go beyond this. I think in the Premier League, what's fascinating, right? In the Premier League, we will lose one more game and draw one more out of the remaining, I think, 7 or 6. And that gives Manchester City the title. I don't think City are going to battle with us for the title. I think we will fall. I think emotionally now, it's over, right? It's over. I'm not going to say sack Mikel Arteta. I think he's still very weak in decisive games. I think he's still letting the team down in these big decisive games. I don't think this is a team that emotionally is drained. I don't think this team has been emotionally, drained. I think this is a team that learned from what we saw last campaign. But the question is, and everybody said, what did that Arsenal learn? The question is, what did they learn? For me, it's nothing. Because the Arsenal I'm seeing right now against Sporting Lisbon, go back and watch that second leg against Sporting Lisbon. Go back and watch it. It's the same. It's the same performance Arsenal put in. So when you look at that performance against Sporting Lisbon, and you look at this performance against Bayern today, similar. When you look at the performance Arsenal put in when we were being beat 3 goals to nil by Brighton last season, and the performance that we put in where we were being beat, while being beaten by Aston Villa 2 goals to nil this season, both games at the Emirates, by the way, we learn anything? No. We don't have a manager that can fire players against the top sides. Yes, we got enough points against Liverpool and Man City, but honestly, the first game against Manchester City, that's questionable. That's really questionable. That performance there, questionable. The second performance against Manchester City, questionable. Trash. Um, Against Liverpool, I think we were just lucky not to lose the game at Anfield. That's the truth. We were just lucky not to lose the game at Anfield. At the Emirates Stadium, we won 3-1, but again, Liverpool were not clinical. So Liverpool again should have won that game, or grabbed the point. So for me, yes, I did gas you a little bit, you guys. I did think, Arsenal gonna win this one. But the truth is that it's always in April. It's always in this month that we capitulate, and we have successfully capitulated. So I don't know. I don't want Bayern to win it. I don't want Bayern to win it. So I don't know. I don't know who wins it. I kind of want Manchester City to do the treble, but I wouldn't want them to win the Premier League. But I know they are going to win the Premier League. There's no question there, right? There's no question there. They're going to win the Premier League. So I want Man City to. If Man City win the Premier League, I want them to do the treble. Because if they do the treble, it means that in English Premier League football, they're the greatest side. They have won the treble. First and foremost, they've won the treble. They have won the treble 2 times. I know. I think Madrid. I think Manchester are going to win the treble again. Yeah, City win the treble again. I don't have a problem with City, honestly. My problem is Manchester United. So if City win their treble, I don't really have a problem with them. I really don't have a problem with them. So Arsenal out. If City win it, I'm a happy man.